We're back on Twitter. See?
Oh, we're back on Twitter.
We're back on the Twitters.
I can see it. I can see it on the Twitter.
That's good.
Yeah.
That means it worked.
Yep.
All righty.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and do this thing. Hello and welcome to episode 815 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going there, sir? Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. To you as well. And you too, Phil.
Oh,
Thank you. And to Phil as well, yes.
Congratulations, guys. We did it.
We did
it.
Mm-hmm.
International holiday to celebrate us.
That's true.
Finally.
Yes.
An international holiday to celebrate us. I got, check this out. My family gave me a little...
Oh, cool.
The Simpsons, but it's the Johnstons, and it's the three of us and our two
cute.
cats. You like
Very
that? I'm
nice.
showing it on the YouTube.
You know what, though? There's only one problem with that. Put it back up. Put it back up for a second.
Yeah.
The art is hanging on the wall.
What?
That's also
That
true.
picture, the art is hanging on the wall. That is not authentic.
Well, it's authentic to...
As we can
the
see
living
by
room.
CJ's background, the art is not hanging on the wall.
I
It is
living
still
room has
leaning
art.
against the side of the wall.
It
If you would
is.
hang it up, you'd have more room for all those boxes you've added.
Well, those boxes were in the closet, you see, and now the closet is finally finished. Like it's got shelves in there and everything. So now I can actually start putting things in there, and I'm going through the boxes that were in there previously. So that's why there's boxes back there.
That wasn't really
There.
my point, but okay.
Now you posted that lovely gift on Twitter earlier today,
Yeah, I did.
and you seem to be a little confused. Like you thought maybe that painting of a sailing ship was some sort of Sea of Thieves nod.
No, but it's not. No,
that's
I know.
just-
I know that it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
but
see.
it's still appropriate for
Oh, yes.
art that I would have on the wall. See.
Mhm.
I see.
Has Adrian not let you frame pictures of your boats in Sea of Thieves and hang them up in the living room yet? Or
Why would I want to do that?
I don't know, CJ. Why would you?
CJ is commissioning paintings,
Exactly.
There we go.
old-timey
Commissioning
paintings.
Check this out, honey.
For
It's
that.
8 feet wide.
We hung up some art in our hallway, like where the stairs going up to the second floor are.
Mhm. Neither of us have
and-
been in your house, so we don't know where that is. But
Okay.
keep going.
Well, anyway, we hung up some pictures there, and they're really cool, like oil painting prints of like Mario levels.
Cool.
Do you remember this
okay.
one?
Oh, that sounds classy.
Yeah, and I haven't taken a picture of it yet because they're crooked.
Well, once you add
We
print
have
to,
to
the
fix
end of oil painting,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's
get an
classy.
oil
It's very
just get
classy.
I want to
oil
see
paintings.
these. You need to take some pictures of these.
I
'cause-
Yeah, I wanna
will.
see those.
I will.
Where did you
I'll
get
take
them?
a picture. I don't know.
Some-
My wife
some
got
internet
them.
artist?
She chose
Your
them.
wife's,
Yes.
your wife's the best.
I know, right?
It's
I
pretty awesome.
really got lucky.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. But hey, joining me from the great state of Washington is Mr. Phil
You're getting
Wow.
it. One of these days.
from the great state of Washington. Theobald. I almost said Phil Piabald, and that's wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, Phil Theobald.
that's me.
How's it going?
The best mangling. I've had many a mangling of my last name, as you can imagine. But when I was teaching, there was a student who, early on in the school year, came up and addressed me and started to stumble over my last name, and she tried and started and gave up and started and gave up probably about 3 or 4 times before finally settling on Mr. Thunderbolt.
That's excellent.
Which I said, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought it was only your
Did
wife
you-
that called you that.
Well, she calls me Sir Thunderbolt.
Oh wow.
This was Mr. Thunderbolt because it was a classroom environment.
And you were like, Mr. Thunderbolt is my father.
You could call me Johnny Thunder.
Well then.
Yeah, how's it going?
Did you turn a chair around and sit down and rap with him after that?
All right, kids, listen up. I know I may seem like an old fuddy-duddy, but let me tell you, I'm as hip as the rest of you. I've written a rap song that'll really
I mean,
connect
just
with-
look at that shirt.
My name is Phil, and I'm here to
to.
say we're going to learn some fractions today.
I thought you were going to say, I love Fruity Pebbles in a major way.
No. I don't need to rap about that. My
today.
love of Fruity Pebbles
That's
is
good.
legendary.
That's good.
I actually really do enjoy Fruity Pebbles.
I don't. I've never liked Fruity
Really?
Pebbles. No.
They are my second
been a
favorite
fan.
cereal.
What's your
Behind-
favorite?
Huh?
What is your
Behind what?
favorite?
Take a guess. Name a cereal.
Name a
The
cereal.
Nintendo cereal system.
No, it's a cereal that is currently available.
Oh, okay.
I could go to
Oh.
the store and buy.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Bingo.
It was
That's a-
the
that's an awfully good
sweetest, most candy-like cereal I could think of.
There's no
So-
marshmallows.
But there are no marshmallows.
I figured you would have gone toward a marshmallow cereal.
Yeah,
but-
Lucky Charms
Yeah,
was on my
absolutely.
mind, but
No.
but Lucky Charms, for
Mm.
all the marshmallows, I find was never all that good.
Well, you gotta sift through all the actual cereal bits
Yeah,
to get to the good
yeah.
stuff.
I'm a Cocoa Krispies kind of guy. I like my Cocoa Krispies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel old. I like Honey Nut Cheerios and mini
Yeah.
wheats.
Jeez, Grandpa.
Well, now I don't get the now I don't get the Cocoa Krispies. We get this Kashi stuff that is
Oh wow,
like the whole
Grandpa,
grain.
indeed.
I know, really.
Is this like is that like the health cereal?
This is the health cereal, and
Oh
it's
wow.
the chocolate version of that, and it's actually pretty good. But the boxes are so small;
Oh, that's how they
it
get
doesn't
you.
come in the giant size
Right, you
sugar
can't
get the
family
cereal
size.
boxes
Yeah,
because they don't expect you to eat half the box in one sitting.
yeah. That's
Right. They expect you to eat, one bowl and be like, I'm not eating this anymore.
That's
Yeah.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of delicious treats, I'm gonna bust open my beverage for
Uh-oh,
today.
What do you got? What do you got?
Let me tell you, I got something new. If I call it out, it's something exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I have a new Mountain Dew flavor today.
Very orange looking.
No, it's very yellow looking.
Oh, it's yellow.
It's Mountain Dew Baja
Urine?
Gold.
Ah, so it is
well,
urine.
You know what? It's
That's what they
showing up-
call. That's what they call it when you pee on the side of the road in
Yeah.
Mexico.
Give it the old
Baja
Baja
Gold.
Gold.
Yeah.
It's showing up on the camera a little more urine color than it is in real life. It's more of a neon glowy.
It's way. Never mind.
It's a blast of natural and artificial pineapple flavor.
I'm sure there's a lot of natural
Oh.
pineapple in there.
I tell you what, I love pineapple too. So we're gonna
Me
see how
too.
this is. Let's see here, and I love the Baja Blast
The green,
Dew flavor. Yeah, it's kind of a bluish, kind of a
blue screen.
turquoise.
Yeah.
That's the Taco Bell exclusive flavor, although right now currently available in stores. Let me. Oh, very
Uh-oh.
pineapple-y bouquet.
Yeah.
Oh yes, very strong pineapple flavor. This is promising. Here we go.
Mm.
Mm.
Do it. Take a swig.
Mm.
Good mouthfeel.
Mm. Oh goodness gracious. That is delicious.
You're supposed to spit out
Eat
the
next
first
year.
taste, Phil.
Not
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
get drunk that way.
I see.
This is really good.
Good thing you bought 4 cases.
No, well, you know what? I didn't because they don't have a zero variety of the gold. I've been watching my calorie intake lately,
Mhm.
and goodness
As you
gracious,
open that gigantic bottle of Mountain Dew.
280 calories in this. So
Ooh,
I guess
Where's
I'm not
that?
eating dinner tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oof. But
There's nothing better than liquid calories. That really fills you up.
this may be the last one of these I drink for a while, so I better savor it.
there you go. Oh Jesus.
Greg really liked that one.
I think we just learned something about Phil's gag reflex.
For those listening,
There
I just
is
started-
none.
I just started
Half that
chugging it.
bottle was in your mouth.
Well, you know. You gotta
Alrighty then.
pay for that master's degree somehow.
Oh my god.
My gosh.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a good Father's Day?
When is it?
I had a great Father's Day.
Did you? Okay. That's
Yeah, I
good.
went and watched my son's flag football team win a championship, and
Oh, very nice.
came home and opened my presents for my kids, and then went and watched my son's team win a baseball game, different team. And then came home and watched the Grand Prix and had a great dinner and had cake for my eldest daughter's birthday. It was a few days ago, and
Oh.
also gave my kids. Hang on, I'll hold these up.
You're gonna hold up your kids?
Yeah, gave my kids these.
Uh-oh.
Gave them the news that we were going to Disney World in November.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
You probably want to cover up that barcode so nobody scans that. And
Yeah,
because that's
just
totally
stole your
legit.
admission.
So yeah,
I got your fast pass right here.
I'm hopping on the plane to Florida right now to
Mm.
steal your ticket.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is something that we actually planned to do in 2020.
Oh, why didn't
and
you go?
had to cancel.
Imagine that.
Because Biden won the election. I'm not going to Biden's America. So
Uh-huh.
so anyway, yeah, we decided now we're going to do it this year. So pretty
Oh,
excited.
very nice.
Excellent.
And that's world,
That's
not
World.
land.
Yeah, land is too far away. And
But world.
I'd
is
rather
in
go to World.
Florida.
yeah, but I've found in previous visits,
Mhm.
if you just hustle onto the bus and then just get to Disney World, you're not really in Florida.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Kind of true.
So
You gotta
Yeah.
minimize your actual Florida exposure.
yeah.
Okay.
I could see that. Phil,
What? What?
you missed our E3 not E3 show last
I
week.
did.
But did you watch any of the presentations? Did you have any thoughts that you wanted to share on any of that? Did
Probably
you watch
did a-
Xbox? Did you watch
Probably did a week ago.
Devolver? That really cool
Devolver.
Plucky Squire game. What do you
Boy,
think
oh
of
boy,
that?
Plucky Squire looks great.
Doesn't
Really
it?
should watch that.
It really. Have you not watched it, Greg?
No, I haven't. I forgot
Oh
to
my
watch it
gosh.
this week.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Plucky Squire
That's
is going to
good
be
stuff.
really, really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
excellent. That's all you're excited for?
I don't remember any of this stuff.
Yeah, I know. There were a lot of
Goldfish, man.
trailers
I know.
last
remember-
week and a half.
In the prep for last week's show, you were like, "Oh, here's a link with the trailers," and there was like
200
hundreds
trailers, yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot.
And I was like, I don't know what this is.
Well, and then Xbox had their show, their extended showcase on
Mhm.
Tuesday this week and showed a little more, including a launch release window trailer for Slime Rancher 2. It's fall 2022.
Kids are
by
going
the
to go
way.
nuts over that.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. It looks great. And it's launching out to Game Pass, so that's even better.
Nice. So I don't have
Very
to pay
good.
for it. Fantastic.
exactly. And then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that Gun Media is doing
Yeah.
had a trailer on there as well. So
Ah.
I was very excited about that.
Is this another one of your asynchronous multiplayer?
It's an asymmetrical multiplayer game. Yes,
Asymmetrical.
this one is 4 survivors versus 3 killers.
Oh,
And it looks
they're
very
starting
much
to even the odds.
it looks
So-
very much like a sort of hide and seek style, maybe like a Dead by Daylight type of thing, but maybe smaller maps this time around. So it looks
Right.
interesting. I've never
Right.
seen any of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
Oh, really?
I've never seen any of the media. So, but
Can I
the
be
game-
brutally honest?
do it?
Here we go.
You got to start mixing up the horror genre video games
Why?
because it's all the same game. It just feels like they're swapping out skins at this point.
It almost sounds like what they've done with Dynasty Warriors.
I don't know what you mean.
Another series that
No. I
I
said
love.
I see the confusion. No, I said they
Muso.
swap out the skins.
What about a Texas
Dynasty
Chainsaw
Warriors
Massacre
isn't-
Muso?
Is it
Is
doing
that
that?
okay?
What's that? Texas Chainsaw Muso? Yes. Yes.
Texas Chainsaw Muso.
Yeah, where you're
Good.
Leatherman going around
Leatherman?
Leatherman.
slicing up bunch of army folk and
I think you mean Leatherman.
the Leathermans.
Right. Okay.
Sounds like a sitcom.
You can be Leatherman, or you can be Paul Schaefer.
I see. Well, that is also launching into Game Pass. So
Oh, well, there you
sorry
go.
about that. Maybe I'll give it a shot for sure.
Yes.
So, surprise.
Look forward to the Hellraiser one coming next year.
Well,
Where you could be,
Hellraiser, I think, is already a
face.
skin in Dead by Daylight. Like a lot of these are already in Dead by Daylight.
Are
They
they?
have killer skins for that game.
Oh,
that,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But maybe it'll get it. Yeah, maybe they'll get their own game. If Nightmare on Elm Street becomes a game, hopefully it's like the NES game.
Oh,
That I
you
never
play
played.
4 players.
Yeah.
That's right. If you had the NES Satellite
I forgot about that.
or the
Ah,
4-score.
I never played that game.
Fourscore. Wasn't that the Genesis thing? Wasn't that the EA Genesis 4-player adapter? What was that called?
That was
4-play. I
called-
think it was a 4-play.
Was it really?
I don't know. I'm gonna go look it up now.
It was called The Foursome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the 4-score
Yeah.
was the wired
It was called Awesome.
NES 4-player adapter. The Satellite was, of course, the wireless one.
Yeah.
The four. They just called it the 4-way play. That sucks. They've gone with so many different names. I guess they probably had to add play on there after everyone snickered at just the 4-way name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, let's talk
Mhm.
about some other news because we
Oh.
got some Final Fantasy news here. You know, the Final Fantasy VII remake
Jesus.
came out. They announced the second one of that. It's called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's going to launch towards the end of 2023.
Okay.
And
sorry.
they have said how many games the FF7 remake is going to be in total, and
Oh.
it's 3 games.
So it's only
Oh.
going to be 3 games. They've got a lot of ground to cover
Oh, yeah?
because, well,
They
I
have a lot
mean,
of ground.
because the first one only covered like the first couple hours of the old game as
First
far as the
city.
story went.
Yeah.
It was the first city. And I mean, that's finishing that is when that game opened up. Like that was basically the
Hmm.
prologue of the original game. So,
Yeah.
but 3 games, huh? Boy, that's going to be awesome 20 years from now when we're playing the third one.
When they
I
have
hope,
to get the
I
rest
hope
of
we're still alive.
jam the rest of the story into the third game.
It sounds like if they're gonna, I mean, obviously they're not gonna do that, but it just reminds me of like Shenmue, where it's like there's this much story. Oh, and the first game was like 1/10 of it, and then of
Well,
course
and for
you just had to jam it into one or
Yeah.
2 more games.
Well, for one game, didn't they also do that UP side story thing that's with Integrate?
They did actually, and I need to play that because I really
wonder if
actually
3 games plus how many different side
right.
content.
And I mean, despite what I'm saying, the Final Fantasy VII remake was great. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it a lot. I didn't think I was going to, but I really liked it a lot. So
I've heard good things. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, Treasure. You may remember developers of such titles as Gunstar Heroes and Stretch.
That one where you Stretch Panic, yeah.
Finally, yes. Oh, we
Yeah.
got a new Stretch Panic.
That's what I assume.
They have tweeted out that they're working on a highly requested game for their 30th anniversary
Ooh.
Highly requested
yeah.
by whom?
Yeah.
by you. They
Oh, then it's
the
Gunstar Heroes.
fans or whatever. And of course, Video Games Chronicle has a picture of the Ikaruga key art, which I'm like, could that be what this is? Like, is that suggestive
Hmm.
here, or should you include some of the other games that are highly requested? Because I know there have been quite a few: Guardian Heroes, Gunstar Heroes, Stretch Panic,
Radiant Silvergun
Radiant Silvergun,
would be my
McDonald's Treasureland Adventure.
Dynamite Heady. Yeah, there's a lot, right? That this could possibly go in. What do you guys hope that this is? What game do you hope you see a new version of?
Ooh, KSO in the
highly-
chat also said Sin and Punishment. That was a
Mm.
good
Highly
game. That was a
requested
really
title.
good game. I mean, yeah, for me, the first thing that pops to mind is Gunstar Heroes, followed closely by Guardian Heroes, followed closely by Radiant Silvergun.
Guardian Heroes would be the one I would be most excited about.
I mean, they haven't done anything with Guardian Heroes in a while.
Yeah,
So,
that's
But
what
they
I
haven't
mean.
They haven't really done.
But they
much
didn't
of-
do a lot of sequels for anything.
wasn't there a GBA game?
There was just
Yeah.
like with Gunstar.
Yeah. Was there? Yeah, there was. That's right.
Gunstar Superheroes.
No, I meant
yeah.
the Guardian one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, which was just Guardian Heroes Advanced. I think.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
It wasn't
was
terribly
okay.
great.
Yeah.
Just like Gunstar Superheroes.
Wasn't terribly great. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe they'll do a new Astro Boy.
Oh
Well,
man, I forgot about that one.
That Astro Boy game that they did is incredible.
Didn't they do the second Sylphid game? Or was it they did a Gradius game, right?
Yes, they did a Gradius game.
Yeah, they did 5.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that they were involved in Sylphid as well, but I don't know.
Were they?
I could be wrong.
That was Game Arts.
Well, I know Game Arts did the first
Oh, did they
one.
do the PlayStation one or the PS2 one?
I can't remember who did PS2.
Hmm.
It might have been Game Arts as well, but Game Arts did the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho. It could be that. There's Silhouette Mirage, Bangayo. Yeah, they did do the second Sylphid game.
Oh, there you go.
They did Sylphid the Lost Planet. I thought that was the case.
There
Okay.
you go.
Anyway, they've got some good stuff, but they didn't do a lot of sequels. So, I mean, could be anything. But I'd be pretty excited for any of those, like those two Heroes games,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Radiant Silvergun.
Totally. Well, we know the next game for the N64 NSO program is going to be Pokemon Snap, and it comes out on June 24th.
Awesome.
So this completes the lineup of games that they have previously announced. So after this, we are not quite sure what we'll be getting, but hopefully it includes Wave Race.
Wave Race would be nice.
That
Yeah.
seems like
Wave Race has like a Kawasaki license, though, right?
Oh, that didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, but didn't they do something when it came out on Virtual Console? They changed it or something.
Oh, did it come
They've
on
already
Virtual
done-
Console? I forgot.
They've already done something with this.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Well, good.
I mean,
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap, that's pretty great. I mean, you know, as I mentioned previous on this show, I only really played it for the first time this year.
mhm.
Boy, is that a good game.
Indeed, yes.
And I know other people have said that before, but now I'm saying it, so you can really trust
well, you
it.
won't be able to print out your pictures at Blockbuster, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't care.
But yeah. All right, and staying on the Nintendo angle for just a second. The tip, yes.
Just hanging around Nintendo's tip.
Yes. Emily Rogers, who is a known sort of Nintendo leaker, although not everything she has said has come true. You may remember, because I think she's been
Like
talking about
Quarterman.
that Metroid Prime trilogy remaster for Switch for like 5 years at this
That's why I still choose to believe it.
Well, if you say anything, eventually some of it will come true.
Eventually, it'll come true.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, she claims that a new mainline Fire Emblem game has been finished for over a year, and in fact, like some screenshots of this thing leaked with Chinese localization recently. So there may be some truth to that. So we may be seeing a new Fire Emblem game pretty soon. Yeah.
Will that be the first one on Switch?
No, they did
Okay, I
Three
was gonna
Houses
say.
on Switch,
Right,
which
right.
came out a little while ago, and then this game was supposed to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the series, which was in 2020,
Mm.
but that did not happen. So, yeah, Nintendo apparently holding on to games. Maybe this one's next to Pikmin 4.
Speaking of holding on to games, when is that Advance Wars? Have they
Oh.
ever come back and said anything about that?
They have not yet. No.
Boy, was I looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was too. Hopefully soon. Yes, indeed. All right. So, I guess that means we're done with the news. We should hop right into what you've been playing. Greg, take a swig of that peace tea and
Mango and green tea.
What you have been playing.
Well, okay, I'll go. I'll save the one that we've all been playing for last. I think it's pretty obvious what we're playing. But I finished Ys Book 1 and 2 this week.
Hey,
Finally.
You finished that boss? You beat that boss?
That boss was nuts. I ended up finally
I didn't even
deciding
know how you were doing it because that boss like showed up, threw some like bubbles or shit at you, and all of a sudden you were dead.
Man, just take it down a notch there, Johnston. Working blue tonight.
This guy really doesn't like his
He
bubbles.
really doesn't like his No, I was bumping and grinding my way through that, and yeah, like so last week I had gotten to the final boss of Ys Book 2, and I wasn't at the highest level. I was at the penultimate experience level.
Oh.
And it just wasn't good enough because that final boss is sort of a bit of a damage race, basically. And so this week on the stream, I just decided, okay, I'm relatively close to going up to the final level, and there's a couple good experience farming areas in Ys Book 2. So I did that and then went in and beat it first try. Woo. So first try that night, not first try ever. And yeah, so that's great because that's, like I said before on the show, that's one of the games that I pined after for a long time when I was a kid, because that was like the game where it's like, oh man, I wish I had a TurboGrafx CD. Not only did I not have a TurboGrafx CD, I didn't have a TurboGrafx. So was excited to play through that. Although it's always kind of interesting, I find, to play older RPGs. And my experience with older RPGs tends to be more like Squaresoft and Enix. So Nihon Falcom, I don't have a lot of experience with their games in general. But of course, you're talking about a time when like memory was at such a premium. I mean, I know these are CD games, but this is a port of an older game, a couple of older games anyway, where like the worlds in both of them are so small.
Oh yeah,
like so small. And because of that, like the final area in Ys Book 1 is Darm Tower, which is just this, I don't know, 30 level tower or something like that. That once you've entered it, you can't leave. Right? Like it's like, okay, you're in for the ride now, man. Like make sure you're ready because there's no turning back. And it wasn't unmanageable. It was a grind for sure. But then, man, in Ys Book 2, it ends in this area called, I think, Solomon Shrine, which is just this gigantic maze that's not only multiple screens and has all these switchback paths and everything like that, but it also has like 3 different sewer levels underneath that you're hopping between, and it has teleporters. So they send you back and forth in there. I would say a good 50% of my time in Ys Book 2 was spent navigating that maze. So it was something else. I had a walkthrough that I'd printed out actually, because I have a page right here because it had like illustrated maps. And honestly, there's not a lot of information as far as walkthroughs for the TurboGrafx Ys Book 1 and 2 that I could find online. But I found this, which is a PDF, and I just printed it out. Anyway, really glad I finally finished it. It's just one of those things that's been on my bucket list for 30 years. So it was nice to get it done, and really did enjoy it. Once you sort of accept, this is a real difficult game. It wants you to grind because it's built that way, because it's like we want you to get as much time as possible out of this very small game. So once you accept that, it's a whole lot of fun. So I'm really glad I finally played it. I'm really glad I finally played through it.
How about that end credit music?
One thing that I couldn't believe when it happened was when the credits roll, it was their real names. And this is like 1990. So you were still seeing, with Japanese games, you were normally seeing like pseudonyms, right? You weren't seeing actual full name. And there were a few, but for the most part, They were, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Sandman was one of the voices, so that's great.
Yes, indeed.
And I believe
Thomas
like
Hayden Church.
Yep, Thomas Hayden Church was one of the voices in the game.
Really? Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the narrator was I don't remember the guy's name. You probably know it, Phil, from Reboot, and the really old. Sounds like he's like an old man, like a really deep voice. He wasn't the narrator, I guess. He was Dark Factor. He was Tony J. I'm pretty sure that was him. I want to say it was him anyway. It sounded like him anyway.
That game, the English dub of that game, they went all out hiring like actual voice actors.
Which is wild when you consider that it's from a time where, I mean, and for almost 10 years on from there, more often than not, your English voice actors were not actors.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, so considering that was sort of the first one
in other Turbo games, they were
and
not
Sega
actors.
CD as well. And then when you got into Saturn and PlayStation, same thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
So I think it was Tony J. It sounded like him anyway, but
you got Alan Oppenheimer in there.
Yeah. That was the name I recognized. Maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Okay. Yeah, he was Skeletor in the old He-Man cartoon. Jim Cummings, who's done a lot of stuff for like Disney, Michael Bell, Dan Gilvezan. They were both they did a lot of voices on Transformers.
Yeah. So they were actually hiring real voice actors.
Yeah.
Professional voice actors. So yeah, either way, man, I'm glad I've played it. I'm not going to dive into the series at this point, but I'll probably play book 3 at some, or just East 3, I guess, at some point. But yeah, really, really happy I played that. Another old game I played this week, of course, this past Thursday was the 30th anniversary of the release of Batman Returns. Movie Batman Returns.
Yeah.
So while the rest of the world was streaming Shredder's Revenge, I was streaming Batman Returns on Thursday night.
Counter programming
for the for the Sega CD, of course, which is, I love that game. Playing the full game, so playing the driving sections as well as the cartridge levels, which don't age well. It's not that they haven't aged well; they were never great in the beginning. Although I really enjoyed them because that's I've told this story before, but when that game came out, Batman Returns on the Genesis is real ugly.
Yeah.
And it's awkward. It's an awkward playing game. And if I think a lot of people are like me, where at least back then, like you would press you would press start and his utility belt would come up and you had like 5 different weapons, like Batarang, homing Batarang, smoke bombs, just a flurry of bats that would stun enemies and stuff like that. And, I kind of always was of the opinion that you save that stuff for boss fights. And so when I played it, the game is not only not all that impressive from a visual standpoint or an audio standpoint on the cartridge, but really difficult. Like really difficult. So I bounced off it pretty quick. And then, of course, the Sega CD version came out and they included these incredible driving levels, which I think most people back then who bought or played that game you could just play through the driving levels and nothing else, which was a brilliant move on their part. That, it's back when at a time when hardware scaling and rotation was a big deal because of the Super Nintendo. Of course, when the Sega CD came out, that was one of the selling points, was that we can actually scale and rotate sprites as opposed to backgrounds. Although, Super Nintendo games got pretty impressive as well. But it was almost like this was going to be a showcase. Like even from the word go, when you start the game, like the words start and options, all the letters scale in from the, from the foreground. And like, then it shows a scene from the movie where the Christmas Queen or Ice Princess or whatever they call her, when Catwoman and the Penguin killed her, basically. She fell off a roof. Like, that's what you're seeing, is like you see a camera shot and this sprite is rotating and scaling down towards the screen, and like it's a showcase. But then when you get into the actual driving levels, like especially the second level, there's a ton of like pylons and road barriers that you crash into and break into it like 20 pieces, and they're all bouncing all over. It's really impressive, and it still holds up. Like people in the stream were saying, like this is really good looking. Like even by today's standards, it's really good looking. So I decided I wanted to try to play through that. I didn't quite make it. The game is super difficult.
It really
I
is.
used to have it down to muscle memory. I used to be able to beat it in like an hour and 7 minutes every time.
Wow.
Every time I played it. That muscle memory has been forgotten. But but yeah, and the cartridge game actually was really good as well if you played it right, which is such a weak way to say it's a good game. But like if you realize that it wants you to use all your special weapons all the time and kind of cheese your way through some areas, like it's like, okay, this is doable then. Still not great, but it's better than I thought it was. So anyway, I played through most of that on Thursday night and really enjoyed myself. And then there's one other game that I tried this week. I haven't played a ton of it yet, but I don't know if you guys know who Bitmap Bureau are. So they did what are the two games that I already have that they've done? So they do old like games on the Genesis and Neo Geo and stuff like that. They did Xenocrisis, which has gotten a ton of good press. Xenocrisis is sort of like a Smash TV style, but like alien game.
Right. Yeah.
It's a fantastic game. Came out on the Genesis, came out on modern consoles. I think it came out on Neo Geo as well. They've also done Ninja Showdown, and there's another game that they've done, which is an overhead like hack and slash that I have, which I completely forget the name of, but I really enjoyed as well. But anyway, they released a game called Final Vendetta this week. Which I think was built for the Neo Geo, but it's on modern consoles as well. And it's just a side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's really an homage to Streets of Rage to me, it seems anyway. And maybe Final Fight, like those kinds of games, but built as though it was built for a Neo Geo. So it's kind of got the sprites kind of have that like, you know, a Neo Geo sprites had that very distinct like shading, the artists, especially the fighting games, like there's just a certain look that Neo Geo games had. And that's what this looks like. So yeah, I played it by myself. I haven't played multiplayer yet. It's real hard, which isn't a bad thing. From the reviews I've read, you get better at it pretty quickly, which is good. But it's pretty well done. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I didn't give it as much time as I wanted to because, of course, Shredder's Revenge came out as well, and I totally jumped onto that. But it's really well done, and it's very pretty. It's the move set isn't quite where I want it to be, and I think it's because when I'm playing it, really when I play any beat 'em up, if it's similar to like Streets of Rage, I want it to be Streets of Rage. I want to play it like Streets of Rage.
Right.
So, you know, and it doesn't quite play that way, although you still have like the sort of the same types of grabs, and then you can vault over them and power slam them or suplex them or throw them across and everything like that. And they've added a few other things, like when an enemy is down, you can actually go over and kick them while they're laying on the ground and stuff. Although I think that's one of the biggest problems that I have with the game so far is that because you're able to do that, it seems like every enemy has an attack when they get up from laying prone. That, you know, just to sort of, you know, to keep you from abusing that feature, which makes sense. But if you get into a situation where you have a bunch of enemies on screen, and you've got a couple that are down, but you're in the middle of like a combo fighting another one, and then one of them gets up and does the kick, like there's no way to defend it. So it's not how I want that to play. And I also find that the you know, enemies seem to have priority. If you jump kick somebody and they just punch randomly in the air, it seems like you can't complete the attack and you actually take damage. So it's got some warts, got a few sort of nuances to figure out. Again, I'm not sure if it's mostly because I just wanted to play like Streets of Rage, or I'm playing it like Streets of Rage and you're not supposed to. But still pretty nice looking game, still a pretty good game. I'm really looking forward to playing it multiplayer because I feel like it's probably tuned difficulty wise to be played multiplayer. And where I'm not, it's a little bit too difficult. So Battle Axe was the other game. Yes. I don't think Phil played it, but I did. I have it on the PS4. So, and it was another overhead shooter, but with some really nice artwork, really nice sprite artwork. And then otherwise, yeah, the other game that I've been playing that I know you guys have both also been playing, of course, is TMNT, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Oh,
sorry,
yes.
Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. It was okay.
I played that game.
I played a little bit of it. Yeah.
Did you guys finish it?
Are we going to talk about that now?
Talk about it. We all played it.
Okay.
I did not finish it. No.
I did finish it.
You got your 1 of 7 endings?
I did.
I'm really curious how the different endings are triggered. Is it just based on the different characters, I'm assuming?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's boy, this is wow, Phil left the second we started talking about it. Phil left. I fell in love with it from the second it started.
Oh my God, yes.
It's really, really good. It plays like
really good.
I'm really impressed by how, like, somebody said, I've seen somebody say this before, and somebody said it again.
There we go.
I think on our I think on our Discord, where it's like, it looks like how I remember the arcade games looking.
Yes.
I
know?
can see that.
You know,
and even how you remember them playing.
But that's the thing. I think it plays better.
I
much
think it plays
better.
better too. Yeah.
Vastly better.
Yeah, I mean, the arcade games, as much as I love them, and I do love those arcade games, they were the hits especially were really mushy. Like, it didn't feel like there was actually contact. It just felt like your turtles were doing their animations, and if, you know, one of the Foot Clan walked into their hit zone, like they just played a hit anime. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, this game, hits feel like they have impact, which I think is the biggest difference
Yeah.
between those and the old games.
Phil, you can probably take that mask off. It's kind of messing with your audio here.
I don't care.
But
You purse grabbing puke. There we go.
but
Jose
it is
Nickelback?
great. In fact, we played a multiplayer match, well, a session with some of our old coworkers,
We did.
like Seabake and
Some of our old
Ethan
co-hosts.
and co-hosts, right? And Greg Ford,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a lot of fun once we got it working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say? Yes, it needs to be patched badly.
Well, on
Um,
Switch, the way that if you're a company and you're using Nintendo's party system or the like game invite system,
Yeah.
the way that and the benefit of that, of course, is that you can send an invite and you see it as a system message versus just doing it in the game itself.
Right.
And so
and we played it on Switch. If
we
anyone's
played it on
curious.
Switch. Yes, even though it did come out on Xbox Game Pass. Somebody doesn't have an Xbox. It's Greg Ford. And so we played it on Switch, which I was already buying it on Switch, so that worked for me. And you have to send an invite through Nintendo's, like through the OS, the Switch OS
Mm-hmm.
thing, and you have to accept it there as well before you can go in game, and then also
Very
accept it
intuitive.
in there. So you have to accept it twice if you get an invite.
Yes. It's the invite so nice you'll accept it twice.
Yeah. But we also had some weird connection issues where
Yeah.
two of the players were not able to play. They were stuck on a waiting for players screen for a while.
Yeah, Ford and I
Mhm.
got trapped in that.
And then you ended up hosting the game, Phil, I think,
Yeah.
and
And we
that
got
worked.
we got maybe like 6 or so levels into it
Something
before
like that.
people started getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it disconnected everybody.
Yeah. But
basically.
we were able to re-invite everyone.
Yep, and
very quickly.
have everyone rejoin. Yeah,
Yeah. So that worked
That-
out really well.
that
So
worked out great.
I'm going to say it, as much heap as I praised, as much praise as I heaped on this and will continue to heap on it.
Yeah.
I did not like playing at 6 players. It was too much.
Six player mode.
It
is-
ran
it's a lot.
fine. It's
It
too
ran
much.
fine.
It's
It
chaotic.
was fun in that I just got to press a bunch of
Right.
buttons and
Yep.
see bright colors and talk to
Yep.
my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not actually playing the game.
No. And that's the thing. It's like, especially because one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this, or I've really enjoyed about this, and you guys mentioned it, because I spent the night before we played, so Friday night, playing through it with Michelangelo. So I had him at level 10. So when we were starting, and you unlock different abilities, which is great. There's a level of continuity there, and there's a reason to go back and play with the other turtles and the other characters, which is fantastic. Yep. And again, the fact one of the reasons that it plays better than the old arcade games is because you do have a much nicer move set. Like they've sort of taken the move set from like Turtles in Time and expanded on it, and that's great. And boy, when you're in 6-player mode, it's just chaos, and I don't feel like you get to experience or use any of those abilities because you can't see what the hell's going on 90% of the time.
Not at all. Yeah, and 90% is very generous.
Yeah, I mean, by the time, and I mean, I had to log off a little earlier than the rest of you guys, and I'll be honest, like I was getting bored because I was just jamming on the attack button. I couldn't see where I was most of the time. Right. I was just hoping I was hitting something, So
well, I was fine with that because I played as April O'Neil, and I just looked for the yellow on the screen.
Yeah. So I played as Mikey, and I was looking for the yellow as well, but there wasn't much there. So
yeah,
and I was Splinter, so I figured that I would be relatively easy for me to follow, just because I wasn't one of the green ones. But
yeah,
I was still constantly losing my place on the screen.
Yeah.
But
it was a fun Discord call with folks that we hadn't talked with for a little while.
I was enjoying that way more than the game.
That was the best part of it.
That exactly was the fun of that, was just getting to talk to everyone again.
But also the nostalgia trip that is this game. I mean, it really looks,
really press the buttons,
plays so well.
You know what though? And again, when we played it, I had only played through maybe the first 2 or 3 stages on my own.
Yeah.
So I think, what did we end up getting up to? Like stage 10 or something?
We didn't play stage 10, I don't think.
Okay. So we got to stage 9.
Yeah.
So a good chunk of that game I saw for the first time in 6-player mode, which is a terrible way to see it for the first time. Because you can't see all the animation, you can't see all the little background gags.
Mm-hmm. And there are a lot.
Yeah. You can't see where secrets are, because everyone's just flailing. So little secret hidden items are just getting uncovered just because people are just spamming attacks. So
yeah, that's the other thing too. It's not only just a good Turtles game, which is great. That's all it needed to be, right? If it was only that, it would still be amazing. But it is a love letter to all the Turtles games that came before it. Like, there are so many nods, everything from like the fact that in story mode, when you finish a level, you're out in an overhead map driving the turtle van around, to like even the name of the second level is Big Apple 3 p.m., which I laughed out loud at that when I heard it the first time, right? And like there's elements of Turtles in Time and Hyperstone Heist in the original game. It's so good. And cartoon, and from the cartoon, tons of references to the cartoons. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know much about them beyond the original cartoon, when it was super popular. I didn't follow otherwise, but a few references to the like live action, the first live action film. Yeah, boy.
References to the second live action film.
What was that? Oh, I mean, there's Taka and Razars in there.
But,
that's
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, you get all the characters too, and you get the punk frogs and all the great bosses from the previous games.
How far did you get, CJ?
Well, wherever we stopped playing.
Oh, you didn't go back and play anymore?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, okay.
It's only 16 chapters long, so it's not. I mean, I beat it in a night, and that was me, or in 2 nights, and that was me, I think, starting pretty late both nights.
I don't want to really say anything then, because I don't want to spoil bosses, or because there are some really neat nods to some of the older games.
Yeah.
In later stages that I don't want to reveal.
Well, I watched some people streaming it, so I know a little bit of it.
Oh, okay.
Later on, so it's not going to spoil it for me, but maybe you don't want to spoil it for our listeners who are probably still playing this as well.
Wait, people are listening to this?
I know, right? It's hard to believe.
See, I could say we're going to have spoilers, and then they could skip it with our convenient chapter skip chapter stops.
Yeah.
I will say in the single player mode as well, my only complaint is there were, and we touched on this a little bit when we were playing 6-player because we got to one of the bosses. There are a couple bosses in the game that I do not like the way that the patterns that they set up. Because they become annoying
Right.
quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Leatherhead. Is it Leatherhead? That's his name, right?
Yes.
Leatherhead is the first example of that because
Leatherman.
Leatherman. There you go.
Yeah.
Leatherhead is the first example of that. I guess I am spoiling something a little bit here, so warning if you haven't. I mean, Leatherhead's in the game, but his fight. So the screen has 6 sewer grates, and he'll dive into one and then pop out of one, and like while he's out of them, that is your little window to hit him, but it's
Very
not
small window.
not very
Right.
big. And then he disappears into it again. So it draws the fight out in this crazy way. And it's not that it's difficult, it's that it's tedious.
Right.
Yeah.
And that happens at least 2 or 3 times for bosses in the game, which I was a little bit disappointed by. Again, it's a tiny complaint because 99% of the game is fantastic, but it's just those little moments are just like, I wish this wasn't a thing. But
Right.
yeah.
And I know a lot of people are complaining about when you go online and you're playing with a bunch of random people.
Mhm.
I guess there's a bad habit of people spamming the taunts,
Right.
which fills up your super meter, and then just spamming the super moves.
Which pauses the game every time it happens.
Yeah.
For an instant,
Yeah, and that just wouldn't
you
be
can't see
fun.
anything. No.
Right.
I mean, for as much as you can't see anything anyway, that's makes it that
Yeah.
much worse.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's why you play with people you know who
Yeah.
aren't going to do that.
I'd like to try it again with 4 players. I
Yeah.
feel like 4 players would probably be just about perfect.
Would
And there's 4
probably
turtles, so look at that.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Well, it unfortunately is not crossplay, except for the Xbox and PC versions do have crossplay.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
I've
a little
heard that-
strange where some of the versions do, some don't.
I've heard that even though the Xbox and PC crossplay, you got to kind of finagle it a little bit.
Yeah, because it uses, I think, Epic online accounts.
Oh,
so
okay.
you have to use your Epic account and sign in that way. And it's probably a little bit convoluted.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
But it's a great game.
it is.
So good.
It is
And I
fantastic.
heard a lot of people last week saying that, it's going to give Elden Ring a run for its money for Game of the Year. I don't know if I would go that far,
I
but
would.
it is a very good game.
It's definitely a contender for my top 5
Yeah,
so far this year.
If you
it's very good.
if you remember back when we did our Games of the Year awards last year, we always do the what's the next game coming up this year that you're most excited for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This was my most. This was the one I said.
Okay.
I find it interesting though. Somebody brought this up, I think, in tweets for us, and
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, you're right. I haven't heard anything about the Cowabunga collection in a while.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you feel like they'd want to maybe ride the coattails of this a tiny bit, but haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not close to being ready.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Really excited about that too, though.
Oh,
And
yeah,
even
Yeah.
more now. Like now I'm definitely back in the mood for it. So
exactly.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, if that's Turtles, then we'll just move right into Phil's what you've been playing. Phil,
Yeah.
what do you have for us?
Well, I've been playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
oh, how do you like it?
Yeah.
the Shredder's Revenge. It's not bad.
I hear you really don't like the opening theme song, though.
I don't like the
To be fair about that, though,
Yeah.
I mean, was it ever going to hold a candle to the original?
well, no, of course
Like
not,
anything that's not the original is going to be a little disappointing.
but
Yeah.
I'm not, and it's not that my problem isn't that it's not the
I think it
original
is a
theme
little
song.
bit.
It's not though. It's that it's a bad cover. I don't mind a cover. I don't mind a modern take on it, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a very good cover.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
like it.
All right.
But what have I actually been playing? Well, you know what I mean, I've actually been playing Turtles, but we talked about that already. You know what I did do?
What
this
did you
past
did
week?
do?
What did you
I
did?
did do an upgrade to my PlayStation account,
Yeah,
and I now
because the
have
new PS Plus launched last Monday.
yes, and I now have what is the big tier premium ultimate?
Premium.
Yes, we all upgraded to that. Yeah,
We
We
did.
did.
So I've been tinkering around with that.
It's a little hard to find games.
It's
yeah. That
very
interface is not
poorly
great.
organized.
Yeah, that's too
Mhm.
bad.
Yeah.
Why is
When
the
I went
default sort the way it is?
well, even more.
It's not good.
I went to so because you can sort it by oldest to newest.
Yeah.
So I kind of expected the PlayStation 1 games to show up at the top of the list when you do that, and they don't.
Hmm.
Oh, really?
I think it might be
Oh.
oldest to newest based on when it was added to like whatever service it was added to.
Oh.
As opposed to when it was. That's just my guess, or maybe the sort just didn't work. I don't know.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I did find the game that I had been looking for, the game I was most excited about downloading through this service, and I finally got to experience it as Balan Wonderworld. So, which I actually did. I did install that just as a.
Did you really? Oh my
I
god!
absolutely did. Just as a good, because I want it's here. It's here. Is it as bad as the demo made it
I'm
out to
sure
be?
that it is.
Is it as bad as everyone says it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
It seems like it probably is. I
Yeah.
played a little bit of it.
Square
Well,
Enix has to claw some of that money for its development back by. Yeah.
Wait, it does look like a Dreamcast game though. It's weird.
Yeah, it really does.
Mm.
It's weird how much it feels like a
What?
mid-tier Dreamcast game.
See, I didn't put the games that I played for this on the what you've been playing because I just figured we'd talk about the service in general. But
Yeah.
so did you play any? Did you stream any games?
Yes.
What was your experience with that?
I
which,
did too.
which was the one? Was it Tokyo Jungle? Is Tokyo Jungle?
Tokyo
streamed?
Jungle's a PS3 game, so yes, it would have had to. Have been.
Yes. So I streamed Tokyo Jungle, which worked fairly well for the most part. It was a little stuttery.
Oh, really? See, I didn't even have because I streamed Harry Potter, Lego Harry
Okay.
Potter, and Darkstalkers collection. I forget
Oh.
what it's called. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because, funny, I guess, interesting because I mentioned last week that I was kind of itching to play Flight Sim again. Just was thinking about it because they were adding the Halo content, not because I wanted to try that, but just like I want to play Flight Sim again. But it's like, well, we can stream that now.
Mhm.
That'll be great. And I went to stream it on Xbox, and it looked awful.
Oh
Oh, really?
Oh my god! It looked like I was streaming like a 240p video for like online video from 20 years ago. It was terrible. The artifacting
wow.
was
Wow.
terrible, and the resolution was awful. Like everything about it was just. I was in there for like 10 minutes. I'm like, this
Oh
sucks.
jeez.
I am not trying this. But man, the stuff that I streamed on the PlayStation Premium service, it was gorgeous. It was crystal clear. It didn't hitch. It didn't feel laggy at all. I mean, that's why I tried Darkstalkers because I wanted to get a feel for that. I'm sure there is lag. But
Yeah.
boy, did I not feel it. So I mean, I'm really impressed by the streaming.
Well, I mean, when I was loading up Tokyo Jungle, it was like I said, it was a little stuttery at first. Once it kind of got going, though, once I
Yeah.
got into the actual game, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was just a little. I was a little nervous as it was loading, but it ended up working out okay. I also realized it's probably been a good decade since I've played Tokyo Jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I hope it holds up. And it holds up. It's really fun. It's such a
All
stupid
right.
game. I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's janky.
Yeah,
In
but it
that-
always was
Well, yeah, that's just it. And it's janky in that way that I like
charming.
janky games. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the EDF
Hmm.
disaster report style of kind of janky, but you forgive it because everything else is so wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The premise is so inspired that it's just like, I don't care.
Yeah. It's such a weird, cute, fun little game. So I'm having a lot of fun playing Tokyo Jungle again. And I downloaded Jumping Flash.
Okay, so that's the other question I had then. So what did you think of did you mess around with the different like viewing options and rewind and everything on PS1 games?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I was just playing pure vanilla Jumping Flash.
So I have to say that because I think for the visuals, for the resolution, you have a bunch of different options, which is great. You have like 1:1, you have square pixels. You have interestingly enough, you have original resolution, which literally puts the game in its original resolution on the screen you're on. So it can be very small.
Right.
Which I thought was like, that's interesting. I don't know who would play like that, but I mean, that's interesting. And the rewind feature, I played it. I tried it with a couple different games. The main one I was playing with was Oddworld. It was easy to use. I mean, when you rewind, you just press a button and you get like a film strip of thumbnails.
Okay.
And then you just sort of click back as many as you want. And
how do you access those features?
I think you press the whatever goes for the start button on a PlayStation 5 controller, not the touchpad. The touchpad is actually the select and start buttons.
Oh, really?
In game.
Yeah.
Okay. So the button that I just call it start because I never remember what they're called on the new controllers.
Right.
You press that. That's how you access these features.
Okay.
And then they have for sort of like scan lines or whatever, they have default settings, which seems mostly like seems very similar to the modern setting, which is just like this is how the game looks on your TV, and that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
But then they have like a filter. I don't know what they call it. It's CRT or something, which just adds pretty light scan lines to the whole thing, and it might blur the image a tiny bit. I'll tell you, for Oddworld, it looked great. I liked the way it looked way better than the default setting. So overall, I mean, I'm really happy with everything I tried on that. The only thing that sucked about it was the interface to find games and to sort the games. Like that's the only thing I didn't like about it. So
they need to just sort of fix the user interface on that because what was it when we were playing Turtles yesterday? I forget who it was. If it was Ford or someone like pointed out that there's like 800 games on there.
And we had no idea.
Where?
Because you can't like see a list of all of them in one place.
Right.
Yeah. A text list would even be nice.
Yeah.
Well, they do have a text list on the Sony website.
No, but I mean in the actual service.
Yeah, there's not though.
That doesn't really help when you're on your PlayStation.
Hang on, I'm on my PlayStation. Let me jump onto the website here and see what I want to play.
Yeah.
Right.
Ideal user experience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I found too that like while browsing it, like some of the games don't even have screenshots or trailers. So my daughter and I were browsing the list of games and kind of picking things to try, and some of them just don't have screenshots or videos. It's like, how does that even get past the PlayStation Store? To like, you can put a game up that doesn't have any assets. Like, how is that a thing? Like, because we do that on Xbox as well. We'll go into the Game Pass app and look at thumbnails and then bring up the trailer and play it and see if she's interested in trying more. So yeah, when that's missing, it kind of ruins the experience.
Yeah. Yeah, the interface is not great.
Yeah.
No. Hopefully they'll improve it.
But the features are fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of games, if you can find them.
Big fan of that.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's really about it. I downloaded a fishing game for the Switch.
Phil, why did you buy this fishing game?
I like fishing games.
Was there a reason you picked this particular one in general? Was it that it's like a remake of the Simple 1500 bass fishing series?
Precisely why I got it. It is
Jesus.
The bass fishing from D3 Publishing. D3 Publisher. Yeah. And yes, as you mentioned, CJ, those are the good folks who, well, I mean, they're the ones who originally released Earth Defense Force.
That's correct.
Crying out loud.
Yeah.
They're behind the budget line that is just known as the Simple series over in Japan, and just about all the games they release are just like the blank.
Yeah.
The bowling. It's a bowling game. The shooting. Oh, it's a space shooter. And yes, I picked up the bass fishing, and yeah, those games of the Simple series games that I played, again, EDF.
Are these the ones that they released? Are these PlayStation 1?
The series dates back to that time. Yeah.
Are they the ones that they ended up releasing here, like Top Shop and Racing?
Yeah, those are from that series.
Or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and I believe the original version,
The original versions,
the original version of the bass fishing, I believe originated on PS2, and I think the original one was actually released here under a different title.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, and D3 Publisher didn't they do that Monster Bass game? That's the zombie fishing game as well.
Oh, that probably.
I think they did.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, no, I got hooked on fishing games back during the PS1
I see what you
era.
did there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Thank you. With Konami's Fisherman's Bait, a bass challenge. Yeah, so I enjoy the odd fishing game. So yeah, I picked this one up because, again, D3 Publisher. I figure it's gonna be a little janky, but it's gonna be a little fun. And it was
is it meeting your expectations in those areas?
It's a little janky, but it's a little fun too. So I'm okay with it. It has motion controls for your Joy-Cons if you're into that sort of thing. I am not. So thankfully, it also supports the Pro controller. But yeah, it's a fishing game. You cast your line and you reel in a fish. What else do you want?
Nothing.
That's it. That's all I've been playing this week. It's been mostly turtles.
I see.
Throidles.
Yes,
Yeah.
Throidles.
Say your prayers, Throidles.
Well, that's the other thing we didn't mention, that there's a lot of original voice actors in that
Oh yeah.
game too, which is fantastic.
You know what? I noticed though, because I finished the game this afternoon as Donatello, the best turtle, and I was watching the credits, and the voice credits come up, and they have the credits for the 4 turtle voice actors, and yeah, it's the same. I believe it's all 4 the same voice actors from the original show, but I didn't see a credit for like who was doing April's voice, or who was doing Irma's voice, or
women.
Yeah. Or even like the neutrinos or the punk frogs. They just kind of credited the OG voice actors who did multiple roles. Like, I think Cam Clark is Leonardo, and I think Rocksteady.
He's Rocksteady.
Yeah. So they
multiples.
What's that?
A lot of them did multiple characters.
Yeah. But yeah, they didn't seem to, I think there may have been like other voices, but there's a lot of talking characters in that game. Like, all the bosses.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, obviously you're Bebop and Rocksteady and Shredder and stuff, but who's doing the voice of Dirtbag? I don't know.
We may never know.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. CJ, what have you been playing?
Well, we were talking about PS Plus, and I mentioned that my daughter and I spent some of Saturday kind of browsing the catalog. So I changed the sort to alphabetical, which is a better way to sort that list. That should be the default, or I should be able to pick what the default sort
what is the default?
The default, I think, is just most popular, or I don't even think it's that. I think it's editorially chosen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But changed it to alphabetical and said, all right, Charlotte, let's pick a game. So I was thinking she'll pick something co-op that we can play together. No. She stops on Agatha Christie's The ABC Murders.
I saw that on the list.
I was like, okay, let's try it. And it's a streaming title on
Okay.
on PS Plus. You can download it also, but it's a streaming title on Premium. And we played through it. We played through it almost all day yesterday, and
Wow.
then this morning we
How
played
long is
through.
it?
It's only about 6 to 8 hours long,
Okay.
but it's a sort of detective style, as you might
Yeah,
figure
by the name, you might assume that. Yeah,
by the
makes sense.
name,
Yeah.
where you are Detective Poirot, which is an Agatha Christie character that
I believe it's
everybody knows.
pronounced Pirate.
It's not.
Pirate.
Yeah.
But I was actually kind of surprised. Like, it's not bad. Like, the graphics are sort of cel shaded looking. It sort of reminded me of The Wolf Among Us, or like a Walking
Ooh.
Dead Telltale game. And it's broken down into like 4 different main chapters, or like cases, but it's based upon one of the books that Agatha Christie wrote.
The ABC
And
Murders.
ABC Murders. That's exactly right. And
Wow.
Yeah, that was a complete guess.
Red's a
I've
real
never.
detective.
Not only have I never played the game, I've never read the book. That was total
Oh,
guess.
man.
wow,
I
you're
know, right?
a detective and you didn't even know it.
Crazy.
But so yeah, we played through that, and it's really fun. It's like you collect evidence by inspecting the scene, and then it has like a sort of you select the different pieces of evidence that support a particular question that comes up on the screen, and in the sort of final bits of these cases, you have to do a reconstruction of the murder. There are 3 different murders that happen or 4 that happen in the game, and you reconstruct it, and it sort of prompts you to select whatever the next move would be based on what you've seen. So it was pretty interesting. We kind of went back and forth with the controller. Mostly she used the controller and would select things, and I was trying to get her to like think about the evidence before just randomly selecting whatever was out there, because you select multiple pieces of evidence.
You're playing it wrong.
It tells you when you're correct, so you don't just like scroll through and just randomly choose them. You read what they are, and then you select what you think might be the correct thing. So we were going through that.
Now your young daughter has seen how murderers get caught.
That's right. Yeah.
So she'll know how to work around that.
Well, she really likes Clue, the movie Clue.
Okay.
And she really loves Knives Out as
That's
well.
That's a great movie. That's
She
also
loves
a great
Knives Out.
movie.
And has watched.
What kid doesn't love Knives Out?
Right?
Yeah.
It's really made for the.
I mean,
the
Knives
under
Out is a
10s
very
set.
good movie.
Family movie event of the year.
It certainly is a great movie.
But she's into that kind of mystery thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. So we played that and we finished it.
I love listening to the type of things you and your daughter watch or play together.
She picked it.
What
What am I going to do?
My son picked Debbie Does Dallas once. It didn't mean I let him watch it.
How does your son get to a point where he can pick Debbie Does Dallas?
We're talking about you and your parenting. Okay.
CJ's kid's gonna go to school and be like, I'm gonna go home and have sex with my wife. Like in my favorite movie.
Oh, anyway.
Clue is a really good movie, by the way.
Clue is a great
It's,
movie.
oh, it's so much fun.
I haven't watched Clue in a couple of
Yeah.
years, but I'm probably
should
due
watch
for a
that again.
rewatch. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It is
Yeah,
great.
It holds up. Yeah, it's great.
Uh,
Also, I downloaded Demon's Souls on the PlayStation Plus. So
mhm.
that's the PS5 remake is now available that way too, and started playing that. I like it a lot. It looks prettier than Elden Ring.
Would you say Elden Ring has got kind of gonna have a run for its money this year?
Mhm.
Yeah,
of the year?
yeah. I mean, if you want to play a non-open world sort of version of that,
Mhm.
yeah, go with Demon Souls. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit of that. Looks great. The combat is pretty fun. I'm terrible at this style of game, but I'll figure I'll give it a shot for my PS Plus subscription price. Why not? I also gave Ollie Ollie World a try because that's one of the game
Still have never
trials
played that.
Oh yeah.
available. It's a full game trial. You can play it for an hour.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. I don't think it's really my type of game, but it was good.
Now, did you play Ollie Ollie?
Yes.
Did you play Oxenfree?
I have played Oxenfree, yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're different games.
They are different games from
you like-
completely different developers.
Did you like Ollie Ollie?
Yeah, I thought Ollie Ollie was fun. Yeah.
Okay.
This is very similar, obviously. It's from
Okay.
Roll7.
Okay. So what's different about it that made it not your type of game?
I don't know. I mean, I played Ollie Ollie. So
I understand that.
the mechanics are pretty similar. I'm not really a skateboard game kind of guy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's all.
I understand.
So, but give it a shot.
I see.
I also played The Quarry. Let's talk about The Quarry.
Feldman or Haim?
Mhm.
The Quarries.
Why not both?
Well,
License
yeah.
to Drive, isn't that the movie? Or?
yeah, I believe so.
Yes, yes, which is a fantastic movie that
Never
my daughter
seen it.
has also seen.
Shocking.
Why is your kid watching all these movies from the 80s?
Because we're watching the movies from the 80s and she just so happens to be watching them too.
To be
wait,
fair,
you-
my daughter actually came to me like last year and said, "Can you make a list of movies that you really love from like the 80s and
Oh,
90s
really?
and we should watch them together?" And I was like, "I love you so much."
So wait, CJ, you're just sitting around the house watching License to Drive one day in
Yeah.
2021 or
Yeah.
2022.
Remember, CJ was the
Yeah.
one who would just casually watch Jim Cotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, at least Jim Cotta is like kind of a funny gag movie. It's not-
Mhm.
it's-
And License to Drive isn't?
well, I mean, is it?
It's a pretty fun movie, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've been playing The Quarry. So The Quarry is a new game from the team at Supermassive. Supermassive did the original Until Dawn on PlayStation 4,
Ah.
which I love that game. I think it's one of my favorite horror games. It's quite fun. And they did like the Dark Pictures Chronicle as well, where they did some of different horror games, but nothing that was really like Until Dawn. Until Dawn was very much like a B movies slasher flick.
Like
And
with
so
Jerry
The Quarry-
Seinfeld?
No.
Okay.
So The Quarry is very similar to that in that it's like very B movie slasher.
Like with Jerry Seinfeld?
No. No.
What's the deal with this honey?
What's the deal?
I'm trying to pollinate this flower.
And they have known like name actors in The Quarry. So
Like Jerry Seinfeld.
No, but Ted Raimi, your favorite.
Oh,
yours
my
and mine.
brother! This
He's
was the
in The
game my
Quarry.
brother was talking about. He was excited to be in it because he's a huge fan of Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And Phil, your friend Justice Smith is in the game.
Oh, hey, I know him.
Yeah.
I saw a movie he was in last week.
Did you really?
License to Drive?
Yeah, they've green screened him into License to Drive. Oh, he's in that terrible Jurassic World movie.
Oh, right.
He was in the
Oh.
previous movie, which was also terrible.
Oh, you went and saw that, did you?
I mean, it's a big dinosaur movie. I kind of had to.
Had to.
It's not good.
No, I heard I was
It's
going to
not
go see
good.
it too, and then I just saw so much negativity about it. It's like because it looked
Yeah.
big, dumb, and fun in the trailers. You know what I mean? It's like
It's big,
I kind of
dumb,
want to see that.
It's
Yeah, I heard they
big-
left out the fun.
It's big, dumb, and surprisingly boring with like
Yeah.
one or two neat scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See.
it's too bad. But Justice Smith, he's definitely been, I've seen a good movie he was in.
Me too.
congratulations.
He's in
Yeah. It's got Justice Smith. David Arquette is in this.
The owner
Uh,
of Bozo.
Yeah, I know, right?
The-
Ethan Suplee is in this as well. Remember the?
He's totally jacked now.
He's looking for a
he's totally
sailboat.
jacked now. Yeah, he's looking for a
It's
sailboat.
a schooner.
Oh,
Yeah. Lance Henriksen.
oh,
Wow,
is,
he's still alive.
Yes, apparently so.
God, he's
You'll
gotta
of
be
course know
ancient.
Lance Hendrickson as the king in the live-action Super Mario Brothers movie.
No,
What? No.
I don't.
But that was
Lance,
him.
Lance Henriksen
was
is
him, really?
82 years old.
Is he? 82 years young. Thank you very much.
Mm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Corey is about a group of camp counselors who decide to stick around after the end of summer camp one more night,
Oh,
and unfortunately, there's something else happening in the camp that night, and well, they start getting killed one by one, killed off one by one, or chased, and you get to.
or chased.
Or at least chased.
like that's now you might get killed, but watch out. There's a chance someone might chase you.
Well, you're definitely going to get chased.
Oh,
whether you
okay.
die or not depends on whether you can
Now
quick time events or.
now is the irony that they're getting killed because they are not chased?
Oh,
Ah.
there you go.
I'm a professional writer.
You know what?
I
I'll
don't
be
know.
honest. I don't even remember what game CJ's talking about anymore.
Corey.
It's
Okay.
it's
I
a
just
Seinfeld
I
game
also
about
want to
bees.
congratulate us. I want to congratulate us on one of the best What You've Been Playing segments in the history of this show. But I have no idea what we're talking about anymore.
Corey. Supermassive. Until Dawn pseudo sequel kind of thing.
Okay.
But so yeah, you get to like select different pathways. It's sort of like a choose your own adventure sort of thing. And just like Until Dawn, if you do certain things or don't do certain things, it can affect the outcome later. And I'm having a good old time with it. I think I'm on chapter 5 out of 9 or 10 chapters total. But I am enjoying the heck out of it, and it does have some fun scares and is gory for sure.
So the Corey is gory.
Corey is
Is that your story?
Like the B movie?
is my story.
What's the deal with all this gore?
Yes.
I'm just trying to fall in love with a human girl. Which I believe is the plot
But
of a B movie.
It
isn't
is. Yeah.
Wow.
She's a pretty lady.
Wow. So yeah, I'm playing it on PS5, and they are going to have a multiplayer mode coming in July, where you can play it on stream and actually have your stream select like some of the outcomes, so people can vote in chat, and you can do it that way, which
Sweet.
sounds fun. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It looks great. The acting's pretty fun.
Okay.
Ted Raimi is great, of course.
Of course
As
he
the-
is.
A cop in the game. He shows up right away at the beginning. So yeah, if you're at all interested in a pseudo sequel to Until Dawn, I think you'll like this. I love Until Dawn.
So I'm looking at an image I found on the internet,
Yes.
and it's showing the characters in the game.
Yeah.
And telling who voices them. Now, are all the see? I don't know most of these people.
Yeah.
But
I assume they're name actors to people who are younger than we are.
well, I've heard of Ariel Winter.
Yeah, she's in Modern Family,
Okay.
Okay.
and she was she was a voice in a cartoon that my daughter really liked at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what that would
Yeah.
be.
That's not much of a descriptor.
Sorry.
But I'm looking
Sorry.
at I'm seeing Justice Smith plays a character named Ryan.
Yeah.
Who just looks like Justice Smith. So are all these
Yes, they
are
look
they
like they're
motion
actors.
captured?
Yes, Sophia the
Okay.
First was the cartoon.
Oh, Sophia. Yeah, I remember that cartoon.
Oh, okay.
She's
Kids really
Sophia
like that too.
in
That's
Sophia the
that's-
First.
It's like the Disney princess show or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
but yeah, they all are motion captured and they look like they're actors. Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, very nice.
it's very good.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I also played 2 demos on the Steam Next Fest. So Steam is running like a week-long or so festival. I think it's over today. So
Oh.
you missed it.
Thanks for bringing it up.
when I played Angerfoot, which was at Devolver Digital's E3 show, or not
Mhm.
E3 show. And this is a first-person sort of Hotline Miami, like very loud music, very over-the-top violence game where
Sweet.
you mainly use your foot to dispatch enemies.
Ah,
Just kick them in the face and whatnot. You do get guns, but they're very limited, and you're mainly using your foot.
Okay.
It's got a pretty decent amount of humor in like the background details of the game, and the audio is it's very loud. It's a very loud game. I had to turn my headphones down, and even all the way down, I had to like open up the system settings and turn the game down
wow.
further
Nice.
because I could still hear it.
Nice.
But it was a lot of fun. Then I played Midnight Fight Express, the demo of that, and this is that game during Summer Games Fest where the big thing was it's developed by one guy.
All right.
And
Yeah. One guy
this
with
is
a team of people.
With a team of people, yeah. This is sort of an overhead, three-quarter perspective brawler that feels like it could be not exactly John Wick, but it's more like that Nobody movie with Bob Odenkirk,
I love that movie.
where he's just gonna like dispatch a lot of people. He's just gonna beat people up,
Right.
and very similar to that. It felt like anyway, but yeah, you fight all these dudes, a lot of brawling,
Mhm.
and you can pick up things in the environment and throw it. And the game has a really interesting feature at the end of the level. It sort of picks some of the footage of gameplay that you did and turns it into a GIF that you can then post to social media, which I thought
Does it
was
just
fun.
pull something
Interesting.
random?
No, it pulls like a high action section that
Oh,
you,
okay.
Cool.
yeah.
That's kind
So
of
I
neat.
thought that was fun. Yeah, the demo has like 3 stages to it, and it was pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. Nice graphical style, nice clean look to it, and yeah, good combat. Felt good to play. So you might want to check that out. Midnight Fight Express. I think it comes out this fall on everything.
Okay.
But that is all that I've been playing. So I guess that means it's time for tweets.
A tweedledee-diddle-dee. A tweedledee-diddle-dee. Tweet, a tweet, a tweet, a tweet.
All right, let's do this one from Grain Geek John, who says, "Do you remember the very first time a video game blew your mind? I remember the first time I heard the baby crying during the intro of Shadow of the Beast 2 on Amiga. I knew that my humble Specky was due for retirement. No game has had the same impact since."
We've had questions like this before, so this is going to sound a little repetitive, but it's true. It's Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair was the first time I saw a video game, and I could not believe what I was seeing
Yeah,
because it was just
that's a pretty
so-
big one.
I mean, it was so different from everything else that I had seen.
I'll go because we're thinking about Turtles this week. Turtles was another one. Obviously, it wasn't a cell animation, like you weren't watching a movie. But
No.
man, when I first saw that in the arcade, I could not believe how much it looked like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Like you were playing the cartoon. Like it was wild.
It really was.
I remember, so I was at the 1991 Summer Consumer Electronics Show.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was 91. It was whatever year they debuted the Sega CD.
Okay.
And
91 or 92, yeah.
91 or 92. And they played a sizzle reel video that in Sega's booth. That was the background music was Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
And they had footage from Sewer Shark and Sonic CD and Cobra Command and all that.
Did this sizzle video, CJ?
Yeah.
Because I was at this CES as well. Was this like they showed like Cool World was on there? And
Yes,
like,
Cool World was on there
I'm
too.
guessing this would have been 92 then.
Okay.
92 maybe. But I've never seen this video anywhere since. Like, I don't believe it's
Yeah.
available online. And I would go back to the Sega booth multiple times to watch the Sizzle reel because they had it, playing on a loop in their booth.
Right.
And I thought it was just so cool. Like, holy like Sewer Shark, man. It looks so real.
Yes, Sewer
Um,
Shark.
Yeah.
I would put Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast
Okay.
in this group as well. I would
mhm.
say.
No.
And and somebody Super Cambot in the chat just mentioned F-Zero and agreed. F-Zero, the first time I remember playing that was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what? It
Yeah.
was incredible.
You know what? This is going to sound a little weird, but allow me to explain myself. My mind back in the early days, we're talking Atari 2600 days, was immediately blown by E.T. Now let me explain why. E.T. of course notoriously
Feels
bad
like a
game.
long setup for a punchline, but
This
go ahead.
is
Okay,
100% sincere. The thing that got me about ET back in the day, because at that point, I obviously had played a bunch of games in the arcade. Anything that I had played at home was on an Atari 2600, which, as you know, is a big graphical downstep
Yep.
Mhm.
from the arcade games of the time. But what blew me away about ET was when you first started up, it had a title screen.
Yeah.
And it was an
That's true,
impressive
because a lot
looking
of
title screen.
2600 games just went to an attract mode
Exactly.
that would change colors. They would
Yep.
cycle colors. Yes, you're
And
right.
you'd
I
have
forgot
to-
about that.
And you'd have to hit a reset button to actually begin the game.
Mhm.
But ET dropped you straight into a title screen with
Mhm.
a drawing of ET's head
Mhm.
that,
Wasn't bad.
for an Atari 2600, it was actually pretty darn impressive looking.
That's right. Yeah.
And that blew my mind that I was seeing that nice of an image and a title screen, which
Yep.
again for a home game was practically just non-existent at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then of course the game starts, and yes, we
it's
we all
terrible,
know
yeah.
it's ET. Yeah, we know that, but
Right.
from that
It
instant,
started out good.
yeah, and it's
Title
playing the ET theme
Mm-hmm.
over the title screen. You get that 2600 version of the the John Williams music.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, this is really cool. It's you're obsessed with ET at that in 82 or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
83 whenever
Made me
that came
cry
out.
in the theater. Man, did I
Mhm.
cry at that movie. But I was also like, 7.
Right.
I mean, I still cry at it now, but I'm just saying I was 7. Another one that pops to mind is actually really a series. The first time I played Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1,
Oh yeah.
because it was such a huge leap over what it seemed before. But then, having seen that, you were talking about E3 sizzle reels. The first time
yeah.
they showed the trailer for Metal Gear Solid 2 at E3,
Oh,
oh my
yeah.
god!
the
Like,
crowd.
Yeah.
well, that was the year that people would just camp out in front of
Yeah.
Konami's screen. Like, you couldn't
Yeah.
walk through that intersection of the show floor because it was just covered in people,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it was just unreal how good that game looked.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
man, just
And you'd
nuts.
sit there and you'd watch it multiple times in a row.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just whew.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, I also remember, and I think we've talked about this before too. Like the day the PSP came out, I was working at New Type USA at the time, so I had not been to E3 to like get hands on with the PSP. This was like the first time in a while that I hadn't been hands on with the game system before it came out. And when the PSP came out, I bought it and bought Ridge Racer, obviously, and a bunch of other games. And loading up Ridge Racer and playing Ridge Racer on
Yeah.
a system that
Oh,
was
yeah.
that small,
incredible.
and thin, it was
Yeah.
like, holy crap! Like this is amazing.
That
Yeah.
screen was beautiful.
Beautiful screen, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Just that blew me away. It's like we're able to play this type of fidelity game on a
Yeah.
portable machine. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Good times, good times. But video games will always get better technically. Like,
Sure.
I've never been the person who's like, this is as good as it'll ever be.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be silly to think that we've stopped.
Right.
That we've hit the end of video game development.
Games will never look better than this.
This is
Of
it.
course they will.
This is it. This is all we need.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Z Miller 1902, who says, "Where did y'all stop in Forbidden West?"
Ooh.
I think where I stopped was
It wasn't far.
I stopped right after I finished the Lego model. That was my last involvement.
Oh my god.
I got into the Forbidden West, and then I met up with I don't even know the character's name, so I'll just say Lance
Released an
Reddick.
update for Sea of Thieves.
Lance Reddick had me go somewhere, and it was a trap. It wasn't the correct place.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. And so I was leaving there, and I think that's where I stopped.
Yeah,
Not
I
very
think I played it 2 nights, and that was it.
I
It just didn't resonate.
I didn't get into the Forbidden West. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
You didn't. Wow. Okay.
In fact, I think I was going east.
A very
Yeah.
welcoming East. Why wouldn't you want to go there?
yes.
Stay there. Stay in the
Yeah.
welcoming East. Yeah.
I do want to get back into it though. I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I was having fun with it. I just, I got sidetracked. I get sidetracked by games anyway, but like I got a few games. Like I still haven't finished the Lego Star Wars. I need to get back into.
Yeah. Same.
There's a few other games that I'm kind of like, yeah, I really want to finish some of those. But
There are so many freaking good games out right now.
That's the problem.
Like, I
Yeah,
know a
that
lot of
really
people are
is.
like, oh, 2022 sucks for games. There's not anything. It's like, what are you even playing? Like, I'm playing so many things. I'm like in progress on so many different games.
I need like the next 3 years to suck in terms of video games, just so I can ignore video games for a while and just play the old ones. So, yeah.
For real. All right. I guess we can end with this one
Okay.
from Acroelius Swim Odin, who says, favorite turtle? Phil can't say Gamera. But apparently I can say Gamera, so I'm going to say Gamera.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I'm going to take CJ's answer. The loophole. I didn't actually say it.
No, I'm going to say Bentley from Sly Cooper, of course.
Bentley, that's great.
Wait, is this just all
I'm
turtles?
assuming they're asking
All
Ninja Turtles, but
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Ninja Turtles, Leonardo. I'll pick Leonardo.
The dull one.
That's my usual pick because the
Oh.
ton of blades.
Leonardo's your main.
Yeah.
I already know what Phil's gonna say, so
I
I'm
mean,
just
it's
waiting.
Donnie. Donnie is the best turtle.
I love Michelangelo.
I like that we all have different picks, though.
Yeah, I've since I was a
Because-
kid, Michelangelo was just
Well,
maybe
Greg,
just
you're
because
a party
nunchucks
dude.
were so cool.
No, you're a party dude. so-
Yeah, that's me. I'm a party dude.
Greg's always on the lookout for fellow chuckers.
That's right. I was so hoping that somebody else in our group was going to pick Michelangelo as well, so I could say, fellow chucker, eh? I had it all queued up and ready to go.
And it didn't
None of you
happen.
picked them. You
No such
bastard.
luck.
I was surprised we didn't really fight over characters
No.
at all either. Everybody had
No. Although Ford did steal Donnie from me.
Ah.
But
Hmm.
You
yeah,
could've-
I
Can't you?
Oh,
Can you not play duplicate characters?
no.
Oh,
No.
I thought you could. Okay.
That would have been even more confusing.
yeah, really.
Alrighty.
Oh, man.
I think that's where we ended. We stopped.
Well, okay then.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us and would like to comment on something that you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com, and there you'll find our contact information. You will find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart, and you'll find the latest Generation 16 episodes.
The new one is the 1990 year in review is getting very close to being
Oh.
finished. So yeah,
Excellent.
Get
Can't
your
wait for
weapons
that one.
ready.
I'm ready with my katana blades. Is that how I do that?
Sure.
Maybe? No.
And my bow staff.
And on our website as well, you'll find show notes and links to all the things we talked about, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We are also on Spotify. We're on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes. Typically, we record at 5:30 specific time.
And
but
on the Twitters and the what haves yous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did that work?
The Twitter, yeah.
Twitter's working now.
We're live on
Yeah.
Twitter.
I forgot to say that part. I skipped
Yeah.
by that part. CJ was correcting me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. On the Facebooks, the Twitters, all that stuff. But yeah, follow our Twitter account, which is at P1 Podcast, to find out when we're doing our next live show. And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason. You know what it is? We
Because you know why not?
Yeah, why not? You don't need money, man. Sounds like you're working for your money. Let
Sounds
us
like
handle that for
someone's
you.
working for his car, man.
No, your Patreon funds, of course, help support our show, keep us streaming every week, all that stuff. And I'll tell you what, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you get access to a special bonus episode that we record every week right after this, when we play games, crack wise, having fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ, do we have a game to play this week?
We do indeed, Phil. It is a TMNT themed Jeopardy game.
Oh my.
Oh,
Yes.
look, I don't want to
This is a Phil episode. Then.
I don't want
is
to
a
get ahead of
Phil
ourselves, but I
quiz.
think we're going to do okay on it.
I think Phil's going to do okay on it.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. So join us for that Ninja Turtle Jeopardy game, friendos. And I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to patreon.com/generation16 to help support Greg Stewart's excellent, outstanding, incredible web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of Generation 16 of the $5 per episode variety,
Also cheap.
you get access to the weekly vlog series I call The Weekly Commute, where I talk about the development of the latest episode, research, any interesting tidbits I've come across, any other videos I'm working on, any other articles I'm working on. And I've been going through my game collection lately and sort of just going down memory lane on a few different games, and people have really been digging it. So that's been a good time. And actually, something else that I wanted to call out, something that it only took me like 2 years to emulate after CJ started doing it with our after shows. I started putting the Weekly Commute archives on my YouTube channel for free.
Excellent.
Nice.
They're a year removed. So last week I actually uploaded the June 6, 2021, or sure, July. We're in July now, right? July 6, 2021. No, we're in June. June 6, 2021. Oh my God. Which was a game room tour. Which was a game room tour while it was in progress. So
Nice.
please go check that out.
Fantastic, Greg. What a deal.
Right?
Absolutely.
Best deal online just got better, folks.
Steal at twice the price.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
Yep.
That's it? CJ, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. Gregory,
Yo.
thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
Oh, you're very welcome. And of course, thank you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single one of you. We hope you are continuing to stay safe, Take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do. And we hope to see you next week.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, dear friends.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.